Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Thlologelo Promise Rampa, and this is Relocate to Australia with Promise. So this is my second installment for my DiarLog series. I'm time traveling now. I'm going back to how I did this year so that I don't repeat the mistakes that I did last year and next year. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm grown now. I'm a year old. I cannot be repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Anyways, let me not be too long. Let me get into what I did in February. My February this year was not that exciting. There was not really anything exciting that we did. The children went back to school, so we're kind of like easing into the new year. It's still new but old at the same time when it's like February. When I was going through my pictures, I remember that there was a time where Thlologelo cut her dreadlock in half. And I was like, this child is just trying to test me. And I did document it also on my social media to say, but this child has cut off her dreadlock because she was scissor crazy at that time. We literally had to hide all the scissors in the house because the child was cutting everything. So I had to literally sew back the dreadlock on her head, a thread and a needle. I was like, I will attach this thing. You will not have half threads. And after I did that, I was like, wow, Promise, you're actually now very well integrated into this whole dreadlock business. Because that's how people actually do dreadlock extensions back home, where you can literally attach somebody else's dreadlock. Guys, look at how long my dreadlocks are. You can actually attach somebody else's dreadlock or hair onto yours. When Marang started her dreadlock journey, she had my mom's dreadlocks attached to her. So she had very long dreadlocks, and people are like, how long did it take? And at that time, she was around 4 or 5 years old. My mom had cut bits of her dreadlocks because she had very long dreadlocks. So she had cut bits and pieces of it, like for the end, and then she gave them to me and said, hey, you can put them on your child. So that's what I did. It was then easier for her to do styles and do all of that, to then grow her hair, which was really, really great. I remember then when her hair was long enough and I'd cut off my mom's dreadlocks, everyone in the family were like, can you give them to me? I'm like, no. And then I burnt her hair. I did not want my mom's hair transferring to somebody else. I was so stingy about that hair. So I just burnt it for peace sake. So to be honest with you, I was so proud of myself because I manage my children's hair. And as I told you guys in all my videos, Australia is so rough when you are an African or you're a black person, because you don't get beauty products or products that we need in your local and normal supermarket. You either have to order things online, which is very expensive, and sometimes they take a while to come. And even if you want to do your hair or you want to be all pretty, you would need to go to certain places. Like if you were in the city, you've got a lot of hair salons that do hair. There's a larger population of African people, so it becomes much more easier. However, it is very expensive to then do those things. And me, economical Promise, there's hell no way. There's no way I'll spend 2,000 to 4,000 rands to put in extensions. I'd rather be ugly. When you ask them how much is it to like put extensions, they'll be like $280. And I'm like, 2008, me, leave it. Bye-bye. So unfortunately, I've got daughters, and I'm not really gifted on the hands to be doing all these things. It's a skill that I had to pick up. I watched so many YouTube videos on how to manage my hair, because before I had this, I had an afro, as you guys know. Also with my children, Marang already had dreadlocks from South Africa, but I had to continue maintaining that. So I had to learn how to do her dreadlocks. Tula had an afro. I tried to maintain the afro for as long as possible, but child, it was not working. Couldn't manage my hair, and I eventually cut my hair. I cut my hair so that I can focus on their hair. And then once I was done and fully kind of like confident with me managing their hair, I then grew my hair. Now I'm a dreadlock mom. I'm always doing dreadlocks on my kids. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying learning how to do new styles and all of that. It's something that I really do enjoy. I'm not too sure if I would ever want to do that on somebody else. But then if somebody would come and be like, hey, help me with my hair, I want to do dreadlocks, I would probably help them, because now I know how to do it, as I've done my own. And even now with my own dreadlocks, I don't use products that I buy online. I make my own things. I literally mix things. I just go online and I'm like, how is this thing manufactured? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They use this. I go to the grocery store. I get the ingredients. I get a blender. I put everything together. That's me. So that's what I do. I'm like, I've gone back to basics. Before westernization, what did my ancestors do to maintain their hair? Oh, I'll also do it. Mixing it with the Western ways and the African way and the ancestral ways. Yes. And then I put everything together in there, and I'm like, umoya, where's those product? And then I put on my hair, I put on my children's hair, because you need to invite everybody, the Western, your God, ancestors, your knowledge, your brains, science, technology, everything. It has to be there so that your hair does not fall off. Because it's risky business what I'm doing. That's that. After Khula had cut off her hair and I managed to sew it back on, that's when I was validated that, you know what, girl, you've got this hair thing on lockdown. And it grew my confidence, and now I feel more confident to actually manage my children's hair and my own hair. To be honest with you guys, YouTube and social media like Facebook, Instagram, and all of that has really helped me with growing my confidence as a dreadlock mom, doing dreadlocks and doing our own hair and managing African hair, because you get a lot of hair salons that share how they do styles and how they twist and retwist and all of that. And me, I do everything. I always try everything. I try to not use the crochet method because that's very painful, and I feel like it also damages your hair and your scalp somehow because it looks very tight. And people who usually do the whole crochet method, their hair would be sticking out like this for a couple of days, and I'm like, chill, no. So my method is twisting and doing it like this and then putting it into a twist, and then it works. And as I said, Australia will humble you. Being an immigrant will humble you. If I was back home, I would have never learned the skill. I would have never even bothered myself to even learn it, because there's somebody who can do it for you, either cheap or for free because it's your friend or your cousin. And usually in Africa, how we do our hair, you will sit underneath a tree. This one comes, don't you want me to do your hair? And then they start doing your hair and you start gossiping about whose boyfriend did what and who's pregnant and so I don't miss that part. So yeah, it was that. It was February. And then February is Valentine's. Valentine, I don't think Valentine stopped this side, guys. Honestly. With how Australians celebrate things, I would be expecting people to be all red and white everywhere. It's not a big thing this side, really. It's just one of those buy a rose, chocolate, like everybody, how everybody does it. So there's not really anything exciting to do. For Valentine, it's a personal thing, you and your partner. It's a personal thing, you and your partner can decide what you do. And which is very sad. I'm like, you guys don't have love. So yeah, I don't think Valentine stopped this side. The other good thing that happened in February, we went for our first camping trip. My children loved it. This honestly would have never really happened if it was not for my husband's work colleagues. Those people always take us everywhere, as I mentioned in my previous videos. So we went on our first camping trip with them. It was amazing. They taught us the ropes, how to do it. I did profile it. It is the Woodgate town profiling type of thing. It will pop up just now so that you guys can see it if you want to see it. So yeah, we went for our first camping trip. We are going to do dishes. Enjoy. Are you enjoying camping? What is wrong? So, are we going to do this again?
We'll be all good.
We'll be all good.
Yeah.
All right. Otherwise, February was a very quick month, literally. As you guys know, it doesn't even end on the 30th this month. This month is a Robert month. Who came up with this thing? Hi. Anyway, it was a very short month. We didn't really do a lot of things as a family, so there's not really too much to document. Yeah. So that's it for February. I'll see you in my dialogue for March. All right? Is my tea ready, Tholo? Almost ready? Is it ready? Well, let me see. Thank you, baby. Nice.